At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Like this multinational company's cold store build contract. All proposals were submitted, but the costs were just too high. So the client chose Apollo to help. We sat down with the client and their consultant and had a think. We challenged them on key points. If we closed up the aisle widths to what was required by the forklifts being used and removed the ceiling to make it the roof, we'd save on materials while lowering the building. With the building now the right height and size, the walls can move away from the boundary, removing the firewall requirement, leading to a 20% reduction in cost and now coming in on budget. Now the building is right-sized, the total cost of ownership is lower, it's safer to build and maintain, and it's on budget. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this isn't about what we wore back in the day.
we're going to go now. Going once, going twice, no more offers. Sold!
It's about being trusted to get a better result for our clients since 1973.
Māori Active, streaming live at youtube.com/Whakaata Māori. Subscribe now.
Hey. Sport is about more than just a game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
And welcome back, everyone. Morena to the Kaiaka here at Whara Akinakina Aorangi Park in Timaru. As you can see by the pictures in front of us this morning, it's a very overcast and rather cool morning compared to the day we had yesterday. A little bit of light breeze. We're expecting some warm temperatures and high winds later, they say. But welcome in, Kevin O'Sullivan, co-commentator again today. Thank you for your time.
It's exciting, these championships, isn't it? They are reaching their pinnacle today. Lots of preliminaries. I haven't seen a lot of finals already, but this is the day where, in fact, the list of finals is hugely impressive. We've got semi-finals from the track at the moment. You commented on the weather. Yeah, it is a little bit cooler. The people themselves, the weather forecast is actually for a top of 26 degrees with nor'westers. No hint of that at the moment. And I think we're just going to have to wait and see, really, in terms of the weather conditions. But people have been blessed with 2 gorgeous days so far. And the athletes, I think, have certainly appreciated that, and we've probably seen that in terms of the performances. And you can see on the board, on the screen at the moment, events that are underway already. Junior boys semis, followed by the senior boys. We've got the senior girls long jump finals. They've just been introduced trackside. A big field there. And
second final of the senior boys, they got underway a few minutes early because of the keenness to get underway and make sure we run to time today. So yeah, we've just seen them fly through the screen behind us there, Kev.
Yes, and yeah, as you said, there's a light breeze, but it's certainly not troublesome at this stage, and we just hope that the weather holds to complete what has been an outstanding championships.
So this is the second heat replay, and it looks like one of the favourites, Caden Taylor there from Avondale College, going through to take that. It'll be a really good final this afternoon. In the first heat, which we just missed off camera, that was taken out by Luke Jarvis from Parapara Umu College down there in Wellington, and James Lowther from St Peter's School in Auckland. And now we're just seeing Caden Taylor out of Avondale College take the second heat of the semi-finals. There was a bit of discussion around whether they would need to have semi-finals because of the size of the field, and they ended up having the 4 rounds, so they had a quarterfinals, so to speak, yesterday afternoon, late, and they will come back to the track later when all the 100 finals run together.
Well, I certainly know this track very well by the end of these championships, Tony, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the things we'll focus on in the early part of the morning will be the senior girls in the topa, in the field for long jump, or peka roa, and then also the senior boys shot. So it's going to be something to look forward to.
Yes, and
my apologies, the senior girls shot.
Yes, that's okay. It's the senior girls long jump, I think, will be keenly contested. We can see down there on the track there at the moment, they're going through their preparation. It looks as if they're going to be jumping to the south, as we would be here at these grounds. The runs more or less north south, and they're using the pit at the far end, and yeah, they are going through their preliminaries at this stage, measuring out that critical length of runway. And a number of the officials there. It's always quite nice to see the familiar faces. Karen Palmer, I can see they're just moving across. And it does in fact appear as if they have got competition underway. So I'm just seeing that they're formally measuring that.
Yes, the white flags are going up, so that's two runways going parallel there. As Kevin said, they're going to the southerly direction, so that's against the grain of the 100-metre straight. And there's a light breeze behind them. You can see by the teardrop flags, they're sort of facing to the 100-metre start. So that'll give them a small benefit, and it'll be good to see. That's Charlotte Goldsmith, I think, there, 671. She's the current title holder. She'll be looking to get some jumps in before contesting the 100 finals.
Yes, these girls looking very assured, I think, in their jumping at this stage. Rather interesting. I had a conversation yesterday with one of the officials at the long jump, and when you have two parallel jumps, they may well reduce the field to the top 8, but the top 8 have to jump on the same runway into the same pit as they were in the preliminaries.
Yeah, so that's not to disadvantage one group that were using one runway with their sort of knowledge of where their takeoffs were, and then readjusting to that compared to the other. So it's a bit of a merging of the lanes, if you like, when they get to the top 8. But yeah, so Charlotte Goldsmith there, so you saw this on the screen. The current title holder, and she might be looking to have a go at the record of a Jessica Penny at 6:05 is the senior girls meet record. She has a best of it.
Yeah, on screen you see the result of the first heat of the 100-metre boys semi-final. We've got to keep they've run so often, I'm trying to remember that these are the people that will go through to the final. Luke Jarvis, James Lowther and Finn Hawkins. It would appear that Asherogo may not have made it through. I'll have to look at the second heat just to confirm that. So 11 line that, and then Caden Taylor, who I think it's probably fair to say is actually significantly in front of the rest of the field in terms of performance so far in these championships. And it's from the second heat that the two fastest athletes who didn't make the top 3 go through. Daniel Endingu of Oatia and Collier going through in that second heat to make it 5 from that heat going through to the final, 3 from the first. And we look forward to seeing that 100 metres senior boys final late this morning. So they've had to get up early, get themselves warmed up, get themselves prepared, have a race around 9 o'clock and then have a final 2.5 hours later. But internationally that's pretty common, Tony, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Often the semi-finals and finals of the sprint events are held relatively close together, as you say, around about a 2-hour or so break. But yeah, getting up early is one of the things that makes managing yourself as youngsters a over this weekend quite a challenge, and particularly for team managers, because to be at your sort of peakish form that you want to be when you're sprinting 100 metres at 9 o'clock in the morning, you've really got to get yourself up and out of bed not long around after 6, I would think. That would not what I would be advising my athletes if they were in 100 metres at 9 o'clock. So you have time to really get up and get awake and get the muscles warm, and it's not cold out there. It's probably about 14 degrees. I think I saw the temperature, but it doesn't feel overly warm, does it?
No, a few more jackets around this morning that haven't been evident in the last couple of days. But Timaru has turned on the weather so far, and we just have to hope that the predicted northwest gales that they're talking about don't make it through to the coast. That quite often is the case. That what in fact are high winds in the Alps and Mackenzie country do take some time to make it through. All right, and we're back onto the runway again.
Eddie McCluskey, I think it is, from Timaru College, if we've got the right runway.
So these athletes still in their opening round, and as though you athletic followers will know that they will get 3 jumps, and then the field will be narrowed down to 8. Top 8. And we will from time to time be able to pick up from the, if I can't give it to you on screen, the distance from the board. Here we can see going on with the hand on the scoreboard. That one there was a 4-metre jump. Charles Goldsmith from St Cuthbert's College has got almost half a metre lead on the field at the end of, as they come to the end of the first round. 5.88 is actually a very classy performance. As Tony said, it's she has actually got a season's best of 10, or personal best of 10.10 metres, and that in fact is in excess of 16 metres, so that's very close. In fact, I'm just glancing at the record book just to check. In the first instance, we can probably confirm that for the senior girls last year at these championships, she was the winner with 5.99. So, as a defending champion, there are expectations, I guess, and she's off to a very good start. She'll be happy to have got that distance in so early on in the competition. And as indicated a little bit earlier, the senior girls long jump record is held by Jessica Penny from Wellington College at 6.05, so that's well within Charlotte Goldsmith's range. And on the back straight, athlete stretching, and it's the next of the row walk events, the 2K track walk for junior boys over 2K and for senior boys over 3K. Long jump immediately in front of us. Crowd, as you can see, they're pulling on the jacket. It's just a little bit cool, although lots of people are still in their tees. And having picked up the compulsory coffee at the number of dispensaries around the perimeter of the ground. Certainly the athletes, once they've jumped, they're tending to pull on a tracksuit top just to keep the warmth there. Conversation taking place between the officials as they measure that one.
Yes, so it's definitely a lot cooler out there today than what we've had. So in total we've got a field of 26 girls, so there's about 13 should be going in each pit, and that's number 655 Jodie McCarthy Dempsey from St Andrews College. That's just jumped there on the right.
And on the left, athlete 177 is Sofla Pendergoldbrand from Christchurch Girls High. White flag's always a relief.
Yeah, definitely. And so these girls are into round 2 on flight 1, which is the side that we're getting most of the coverage of.
Milan Riseborough from Westlake Girls. Just rising on her toes and about to prepare, leans back. That's a very frequent. And yes, the white flag goes up. You see the crowd. It's almost a little ritual, isn't it, really, with long jump taking place, and it's always very close to the stands.
Yeah, easy for the coaches and whānau to give plenty of advice on the sideline for this event, that's for sure. Particularly when the pits are right there in front of the home straight.
And there's a lovely sense of immediacy about it, I think, in a way that you probably don't achieve in a number of the other events. You're right alongside it. You see the entire movement on the runway into the pit and making their way back, and you can make eye contact very easily, and you can see one of the athletes here, hands on hips, having a conversation. It's probably with the coach.
Yes, Charlotte Goldsmith, our current leader, but she fell out in the second throw, so Ava Wiggersmay here on 752 from St Peters and Gore.
You might have spotted there she was a little bit behind the board, or the mark there.
It's a pretty efficient process going on here. They're getting through these jumpers pretty quick. I mean, we do have a good sized field, that's for sure, but it's good to see the team of officials working really well together.
Meticulously prepared sand pit, isn't it?
Yes.
And Lisa Lockman, who we saw her in the long jump, high jump yesterday, long jump today. Well performed athlete from Otago Girls High School. All right. 4:32. Goes up on the spinning scoreboard, I suppose you could call it. It moves around so that people on probably both sides of the athletic oval can probably see the jump. Even if you're on the far bank, you can at least pick up if you knew the athlete was jumping.
Yes, so
we're on to the next round already.
Yes, so this round here for these young ladies, this is flight 2 on our left side and flight 1 on the right side.
So it was Annie Love from Dunstan High School. She sat back at the end of that jump, and the walkers are on their way.
Yes, so we've got a situation like yesterday, I believe, where maybe we've only got senior walkers, which they're doing a 3K. That's right, they're doing a 3K. So we've got Richie Trathan, Ari Bennett, Nathan Bayliss and Toby O'Rourke are our 4 walkers, I should say, on track there, and looks like going to the front nice and quickly is Nathan Bayliss from New Plymouth. Toby O'Rourke from Francis Douglas Memorial. So we've got a couple of walkers from Taranaki, and then one Ari Bennett, he's from Freiburg High in Palmerston North, and Richie Trathan from McLean's College up there in Pakuranga, Auckland.
Right, there's 4 athletes we can see out on the track, and Toby O'Rourke made his intentions very clear from the outset. He burst away from the field. I think probably the 2 rules, Tony, we've got to keep in mind if you're looking at that contact is made with the cannot have both feet off the ground at any one time, and the back and the legs need to straighten.
That's right. So there'll be an eagle eye on anyone that races out there alone, because it becomes a little bit more obvious and easier for the judges to look at. But he's already checking his watch after a lap, so Toby's obviously targeting something. We should look up the record in case that's what he's having a crack at for this event.
I've got a little bit of a feeling that might have a slight investment in that record.
It's currently held by Daniel Lord from here in Timaru, boys, so yes, you probably had a time of 12:33.77, so we'll keep an eye on that. And I believe Daniel Lord's father was possibly here thinking about being an official. I'm not sure if he ended up
there. Yeah. It's the Lord family here in Timaru, well known, and both in terms of officiating, and the boys. Daniel was a student at Timaru Boys High School when I was there, and he was a fine race walker. But no doubt about this one. Toby O'Rourke is stretched out to a impressive early lead. It's coming up to complete his second lap. 3 minutes. That's better than most people going out for their Sunday run will do. And he's walking.
Yes. So they have a very good sort of community, the walkers, and they all support each other fairly heavily. So Toby's got a best performance over the 3K at 12:55 this season, so and a bit of change. So it's definitely something he's probably targeting is that record.
That's right. That's Daniel Lord's record for this event, 12:33.77. He's got to do a PB, but this is the occasion. The conditions are good enough. It's coolish, and there's no significant wind.
So Toby's second-ranked junior walker, if you like, behind Jonah Kropp, who represented New Zealand at the World Under-20s this year in the race walk. And then on the screen is Richie Tratham from the Clains College, or the Pakuranga Club. He's our leading under-18 walker at the moment.
So Daniel's opened up a lead of probably about 160, 180 metres on this event. So provided that the judges around the course, and I think there'll be 5 of them, I think, Tony, is it, that for a walks race, they'll be watching very closely. They'll be walking up and down. They'll have their little patter to indicate whether, in fact, I'm just glancing out there on the track now, and you can possibly from time to time see one of the judges there with
last one on the back straight there, I think, with his arms folded and
pen and board in hand. And if they've got any concerns, they will give a warning. And but looking at the boys walking at the moment, these are proficient walkers. They know what's required. They've been training hard. There'll be one head walk judge who probably makes the final call in terms of disqualification. Always but heartbreaking. These days, of course, they tend to have a range of responses from penalties rather than disqualifications immediately, but effectively if they provide a penalty, a time penalty to athletes in walking events, it really puts them out of contention anyway. But I guess they get the satisfaction maybe of finishing the race. Whereas in the past, quite often in walking events, off the track, it was all over.
Yes, sir. You can see in the background there, that's the senior girls shot put lining up for their event, which will get underway shortly.
Back to the
Charlotte Goldsmith, our leading jumper at the moment. Looking for a white flag if she can get it this time. Yes.
Yep.
After fouling out 4.
And there'll be a little conversation, I'm sure, with the coach as she works her way back. Yep, that's going to happen. It's going to be a little mix of advice and encouragement that will be offered. Anything technically that she needs to work on in her next jump, and that
jump there, she did a 5.84, so not quite up to her leading performance in round 1 of 5.88.
So 7.5 laps of this athletic track here out Aorangi Park in Timaru. We'll see a little mark as I go down past. You'll get a little indicator there. This time is just under 7.5 minutes walking so far.
They're spread right around the track now, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So it's not going to be difficult for the judges to judge them, that's for sure. Walkers do have a tactic in some of these big events of walking in bunches, so it makes it a little bit harder, particularly the road walks at the major games, for the judges to get that clean look at their technique. But these young boys are well exposed.
And making up the field of 27, Zara Brunton from Craytech Dyson. All the best to our 27 competitors in the senior field shot put.
Really got head down and going for it is our Toby. He's got the sunglasses on. Not much of the bright golden rays out there this morning, is there? But maybe it helps him with his focus. I think he might have he's getting a yellow warning card there.
So he'll need to. He's experienced enough to know that needs an adjustment.
Yeah, so I think he's got probably 2 laps to go. We're not seeing the indicator book, but I think there'll be 2 laps to go looking at the time. So if he's clocking around 3 minutes for 2 laps, which he started off at, he's going to go close to or under a personal best possibly.
I mean, these days, of course, around the track, it's the officials can actually communicate between one another in terms of doing that, and Toby makes
lapping back marker of the field. He's still checking his watch, so he's definitely targeting a time, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly knows what's required. I guess as he's making his way around the track, there's a bit of a calculation going on in the head there. I've done that where he went past there was the completion of a lap, and just important to check the judge on in the home straight where he is entering now was the one who issued the warning last time. Let's see that all looks good as he comes down this time.
You can see that judge from our box here, and he's not waving any yellow cards at the moment, so Toby has escaped his attention for one more lap anyway.
Yes, and he's received the bell, and it was just on 11 minutes, so he possibly does have the championship record in his sights. So.
Yes, so if he can get round in just around 90 seconds, it's the kind of pace he's been going at.
So he's... we know now probably exactly why he was looking at that watch with such regularity. He'll have known exactly what was required. So the record is, as we said, is 12:33.77, set back in 2009, which is when it was held here last. No, the first time it was held on this track. So the local boy, as we said, Daniel Lord, set that record here in Timaru, and he's still checking his watch with a couple of 100 metres to go. He's just ticking over the 12 minutes now, so he's got 33 seconds to get round from the water jump area. It's going to be a big ask, I think. Yes, it is going to be an ask.
But he's likely to get a personal best. Remember, his best time that we can see is 12:55. So he'd need to break into a sprint to get that record now, unfortunately, and he's not allowed to do that.
Definitely not. And he's being acknowledged now as he comes down the home straight. And the record has just been eclipsed, and he's only he's less than 30 metres away from the finish. It's been a very fine walking performance, and he breaks into an understandable.
Yeah, so around the time of just under 12:40 maybe, if he's lucky, which he'll be happy to have carved some of his best. But yeah, with a little bit of competition out there, I'm sure a time of 12.5 minutes is within the realms for Toby O'Rourke.
Yep. And it was certainly worth his the conditions were good enough to attempt the record. He's obviously in good form. But Daniel Lord, his record remains intact. And, we've got a glance over there that we've got junior boys high jumpers going through their preliminaries at the moment. And it's just a reminder, Toby's on the track at the moment. He's
right down past the 100-metre finish line. So that's the para-athlete in the long jump.
Has given his all, I think, in that particular walk.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, just in case any of the viewers are at home looking, we didn't have any starters in the junior walk, which was to be at 2,000. You may remember yesterday we had a concurrent walk between the junior girls and the senior girls, where they started on opposite corners of the track, so that but there was no junior walkers this year. So let's hope we have some in 2025 in Hastings. So we've got a bit of track space on the program, Kevin, because we had to plan for some semi-finals of some 200s, but the 200s have all come direct. They ran the semi-finals in place of where the timed spot was for the quarterfinals, so we dropped a round, so to speak, and so we don't have any semi-finals for the 200s. So there's the next up on the track will be the girls 800 metres for juniors, and followed by the boys 800 metres for juniors, then the senior girls, then the senior boys. So we'll have a little bevy of 800 metre races, the 2-lap spectacle coming up in about 15 minutes time. I'll get underway.
I think we get the minor place getters coming through in the walk.
Yep, and that's just finishing over there in 15 minutes. He'll be happy that he's probably broken that. That's Ari Bennett, I think, from Freiburg High.
And Richie Trothin of Maclean's College had just come in front of him, so they look as if they're the medalists, and there's Toby O'Rourke, Grantis Douglas, Richie Trothin of Maclean's College, and Ari Bennett, and Nathan Bayliss now completes it, the distance. Yeah, competent walks from all 4 athletes, and Toby O'Rourke quite clearly the best on the day.
So, and young Ari Bennett, I'm sure will be pleased that he just nudged under the 15-minute mark with a 14:59.38. So, yeah, some good performances there from those young men in the 3K track walk.
All right, on screen you've got the formal result.
We'll give you an update in the long jump. It's in the 2 pools. From what we can see, still the leader is Charlotte Goldsmith. 5:88. So she'd dearly love to get over that 6-metre mark. 6:05, as we said, was the record set by Jessica Penny. That was back in 2005. Jessica out of Wellington Girls. I saw her old coach Mike Beeble walking around here yesterday, who's now living in Queenstown, I think it is.
Yeah, I think he's definitely
Wanaka.
He was yes, Wanaka, and doing a very fine job in terms of coaching athletes, and we'll see one or two of those, or several of those athletes from Mount Aspiring College who he and his wife Barbara Beeble nurture very well in that part of the world.
Talking about walkers, someone else we both know well is in that same area, sort of retired down there, is Graham Seater. Kevin. So,
yes, he did. He may well have had a shift further back up north to Auckland. I certainly spoke to him when he was still in the Wanaka, Queenstown region, probably about 18 months ago, and as is often the case in retirement, decisions are made around where other family are.
That's correct.
Right, on the runway there now, Georgia Gibbons.
Very well formed young lady from the Dunedin.
Yes, I've watched Georgia emerge really from throughout her school years. Really, she's now in her final year. She will have finished high school. Have a word to, in her case, Mum.
Mum as coach, as I was saying. I was just thinking who was giving the advice there, whether it was Mum or Dad.
I think it's Mum. Mum and Grandma. I think it's the.
So I think this might be McKinley, is it? It's Juliet McKinley from Wanganui Collegiate. And she's in amongst the contenders. Got a best at the moment, 5:17.
Georgia Gibbons is 5:20, pushes her up into 3rd place overall in that competition. She'll please her, no doubt. So this will be getting intense now. The top 8 have identified themselves, and they've got to give it all, really.
Yes, so we're showing the 4th round for Flight 1, which means we've got our best there, but we're not sure who they're up against, so we'll have to keep an eye on what's happening on the 2nd runway.
Exactly
so
right.
Looks like from Flight 1 we've got Goldsmith, Georgia Gibbons, Juliet McKinley and Annalyn Rudd from Samuel Marsden in Wellington, and 6:55, which was Jodie McCarthy Dempsey, so she's in the 4th round as well. So
there's a possibility they may have seeded the 2 pools. I'm not sure on that.
Yeah.
Number 235 on the runway at the moment. Just in contemplative mood, just getting ready.
So Jackie Nasrabadi from Auckland Diocesan, so yeah, she's one of the leading contenders. She had 5:35 previously, so we'll see what that is, if we can keep an eye on the board, if it rotates
Yep, the numbers are being adjusted. The crowd get to see it before we do, and that's okay.
5:21, so that's not much change happening there. But so I think you're right, Kevin. I wasn't sure that they were going to seed those pools, but here we've got our leader on the runway now, Charlotte Goldsmith, in the 4th round. So this is the top of the 4th round. The official's going to get just in the road of the camera, which we didn't want, but it was a foul anyway. So
yep, she's not happy with that, obviously. At the moment, she's not being challenged in this competition. I think we indicated earlier that there was she has a half-metre advantage over the rest of the field at this stage of the competition, and it would be surprising to see anybody particularly challenge her. But she's still wanting to make sure that the final 2 jumps are of quality, really.
So there looks like we've got 1 or 2 from the other pool. That was flight 2, so I just missed that number.
618, I think it was.
618. So, yeah. And that's, oh yes, that's Annalyn Rudd. So she is in that one. So the results are coming across onto the one sheet now. So
we get ready for our next event on the track.
So Annalyn out of Samuel
Marsden.
So 5:20, that will be an improvement for her. She's currently sitting with, we believe, in 6th spot anyway. 5:28.
And so I think that possibly will move her up a little bit.
It'll be in Hastings next year, from the 5th to the 7th of December.
Georgia Gibbons had 5:20, I think, which pushed her up. So
cross country next year.
McKinley was at 5:17, so 5:28. That might put Annalyn Rudd into the medals, I think.
The South Island Champs next year will be held in Nelson from the 5th to the 6th of April. And on the same
from
weekend,
that, number 323, which is Hannah Hickson, who seems to have had a very busy competition. I seem to have seen Hannah out on the track, jumping in the high jump, obviously in the long jump. She may have done the hurdles as well. Some of these young athletes do have a busy championship, Tony.
Yeah, and there are, some of these young girls are potential heptathletes of the future, aren't they? And I know Juliette McKinley, she did the javelin and medalled in that, so I think she's in the hurdles, 300 hurdles. So that was 5:08, I think it was there for.
Morning, everyone. We're having our first medal ceremony.
Getting through this final stage quite quickly with operating the 2 pits. But, they might still be.
Presented by Rebecca Poulton, who's the head of classification of Para-World Athletics. Thank you for being here, Rebecca. So for the gold medal, Amy Harris with a jump of 3:47.
Right on the, I guess we can say the right-hand runway, number 540.
So it's Georgia Gibbons.
A legitimate jump.
That's not an improvement for her at this stage. Her best is 5:20, as we see on the screen there. So
Juliette McKinley waits.
Our next event on the track will be the Junior Girls 800 metres final. The girls lining up on the track there, and lane 1, Nancy Wong from Wellington Girls College, Crystal Burgess from Rototuna High School in 2, Emma Perry comes from Northfield High School in 3, Morgan Day from St Kitts College in Auckland in lane 4,
Right, we're set.
Anna Mahanis from Dyson School.
See Juliette McKinley, if you can look through the elbow.
Girls High School in 6,
And we'll just see how she
Abby
gets.
Walk from Burton College in 7, and rounding out the field in lane 8, Maddie Jackson from Long Bay College.
The rotating scoreboard being completed. 5:06, so that's not going to be an improvement for Juliette. She appears to have 2 jumps at 5:17. Jodie McCarthy-Dempsey jumping once again. And these girls, I think, must be into their final round, are they, Tony?
Getting close, I think, after this.
And underway with girls 800 metres junior final.
Got the junior girls 800 going, so we might be able to pick up the closing stages of that for these finals. It's good to see the track. We've actually got them going a little early, but that's fine.
So 209.73.
And one of our fellow commentators for the weekend will be a nervous dad out there at the moment, Kevin.
Yes, he will.
Carl Jackson's daughter's running in this, and the Long Bay colours. Looks like Paige Dobson, I think that is the long striding young lady from the Napier district.
They're all going to come in now with
We haven't really had much in the way of big numbers yet.
There's 6 of them in the running at the moment with the bell. Through at about 63, I think, the leader.
Right, that's a good. It's a good steady clip, isn't it? That for
junior
girls.
Yes.
Yep.
These girls get anywhere to 210, 212, they'll be very happy. It's a bit of a clear break going on at the moment.
Yep, the lead. We've got the most likely the medalists there. In fact, there are still 4 in contention.
Yes.
200 metres to run.
The rubber band is slowly breaking, and it looks like the young lady coming around from thirds.
Yeah, that's Abby O'Boyle. O'Boyle from down in Southland at Verdon College from Invercargill. A really tenacious athlete, and I saw her run down Catherine Lund recently in a 100 metres radius. But the pressure is on. She's got the break that she would want.
Yes, and they're a really swift time for junior girls. Getting close to 210 now, so yes, they've really extended themselves, those 3 young ladies in the front there. So,
an exciting talent, young O'Boyle. Abby O'Boyle is a heptathlete who won the South Island event for a heptathlon down here in the south in Dunedin. About 3 weeks ago, so she's versatile at the very least. And there she is, a very happy young lass coming across the track to hand in her tag.
Number 1.
And obviously going off to chat to family. And here's our lead high jumper.
Long jump.
Long jumper. We'll try and get the event sorted, Tony.
That's all good.
It must have been in the seat too long. That not going to be counted either.
That's the 5th. I think that's the 5th ground jump for our leader at the moment. And from what we know, still in 2nd place is Jackie Nasrabati from Dio in Auckland with 5:49, and then Annalyn Rudd in 3rd with 5:28. That appears to be the way it is, and Ella Waldron from Geraldine 5:21 in 4th. Georgia Gibbons slipped back to 5th now with 5:20, so the last round will be coming up.
So Geraldine athlete there, Ella Waldron, is it, on the runway on the left, and Georgia Gibbons on the right, just ready to prepare. Appeared to hit the board quite nicely. We're not in the best position to judge that, but
but got a white flag, which is good. The gentleman there is just picking up the rake, Donald Bate. He has great pride in keeping these sandpits in awesome shape out of Blenheim.
Right, in profile at the moment is Georgia Gibbons from Queen's High School in Dunedin, and this is an important jump for her. Georgia not giving too much away. This will have been her her 6th and final jump. She'll have to go better than 5:20 to be in contention to medal. She's certainly in the top 6.
Let the gun go with the junior boys, 800, and they're off now. And of course we've got one of the stars of, if we can say, at such a tender age as Sam Ruth, and he's definitely going right from the beginning. And I guess it's his good condition, so whether he wants to get another record, he set the junior boys 1500 record yesterday, and he'll be after Dallas Bowden's record here.
He's going at a great clip.
So the way he's taken off in this championship race, it would feel he's.
I mean, he's got a 30-metre lead as they come round at the end of into the home straight. Totally in command.
I think Dallas Bowden stands at about 154.
To get an idea, I can see that as he goes through. This is 54, just a tick over 54 seconds for the first lap. That's sensational time.
153.9 he's going to need to run to take
he's
that
obviously
record.
His confidence must be sky high at the moment. I mean, he put in he deserves all the support he can get as he stretches down the back straight. He hits the 600-metre mark, and I'm just having a glance there. It would appear to be around about the 120, so he's really maintained that speed. I think we're seeing probably one of the races of this championship. He'll be feeling the pressure here now, but hopefully the crowd will be able to buoy him up as he comes round into the home straight. He's blowing, as you can see there, but he knows that all he's got to do is try and keep the rhythm there. And the crowd are responding to there now. And I'm just glancing at the clock there now. They're just coming up to 150 now. 150, 150. He's under the record. That is a sensational performance.
Very sensational performance. Don't like putting a big emphasis on these young athletes, but that is something rather special. And this, these junior boys are all running their best behind them,
and will have run well.
Absolutely. So yeah.
So, we'll wait for the official time there, but that is one of the great 800-metre races. It's been a privilege to watch, really, for a young lad.
151.23, so he's taken a good 2 seconds off Dallas Bowden's record, and we know how good Dallas Bowden was when he was at school. I particularly followed that because he was in the same years as my son, and so that is a very special performance that people have witnessed there today.
Jackie Nashrabaldi coming down the runway. She's in contention for a medal, absolutely.
.549 was her leading jump prior in the second to last round, so we'll see that. Look, she seems pretty happy, doesn't she? She's got something bigger, or she's just happy that she's possibly held on to the silver. 5:38. So
just good consistency there from Jackie Nashrabaldi from Diocesan School for Girls. And here, what must be her final jump of the competition, Charlotte Goldsmith, and she'd just like a little bit of support from the crowd.
Yep.
And I'm sure she'll get it.
She goes now. It looked a good jump. I think we're behind the white line.
Yes, it did go up. Yep.
See, she's taking a look to see what it's like, and she's pretty happy, so she might have got something good there.
Yep.
She was definitely wanting to get a 6-metre jump out, I think.
That's right, and that's she's doing a lot of
6:07. So she's broken the record of Jessica Penny, which was set at 6:05. I'm pretty confident around that. So
no wonder there was delight there.
Yep.
We didn't see Charlotte had her competitive face on for most of the competition, but that performance, pulling it out in the very last jump of the competition out to 6:07.
Yeah, 2 centimetres ahead.
So that's we're having the top action on the track, really, and in the field. So Charlotte Goldsmith a new New Zealand schools record for senior girls in the long jump at 6:07. And young Sam Ruth has just run 2 seconds inside the existing 800 metre record with a time of just a little bit over 1:51. Put the pressure on the senior boys for this championship, hasn't it?
Absolutely. So next up, you can see lining up over there, we've got the high jump for junior boys, and later on we'll have the senior boys discus, and that might be them in the background as well. So plenty of finals going here this morning.
Yes, about a 10 o'clock start. They would appear to be both fields. So the high jumpers nearest the camera, and behind them the senior. In fact, it may well be junior boys high jump, and the senior girls discus will be behind them, but was they may well be assembling elsewhere.
Sorry, that's the senior girls shot are underway down
at the far end
of the field, and we haven't had a focus on them, but we can probably pick up some results actually, give us progress on that. After finishing the long jump, we can switch over, and that's good.
So senior boys discus field coming up. See our co-commentators here.
And coming up on the track next will be the senior girls 800, and I think that's a possible another record.
Yeah.
Bo Ritchie lining up there. Angie Smith, your commentator from yesterday, has that record, the senior girls, at 2:08.01, and we know that Bo's run 2:05 and 2:06 this last 6 to 12 months, and so that's definitely within the realms of her as well, particularly with these ideal conditions here for distance running this morning, and it's just calm.
Right, so senior girls shot putters in action.
There's a good field of 25, I think it is, in the senior girls shot, so they'll take a while to get through, but once again they'll push them through fairly quickly. And we've got title holder in here, Kate Harley, got Michaela Solar, got the silver medalist from the javelin, Alex Duff, and Carmen Moritz, also from Westlake Girls, who so this will be a keenly contested senior girls shot.
And again, the New Zealand tradition in this now with Maddie Wish. Her, I suppose we can say, surprise silver medal at the Olympics. She, on the occasion, kept her cool when everybody else fell apart, and or some of the leading contenders fell apart.
And yeah, we can say that, but she's one of those Kiwi girls that has continually given her best in all the major championships and set her best in the major championships.
Yeah,
so.
yes, that's right. She's a big occasion performer.
Yep. So.
And does so in a lovely, understated, and engaging way, doesn't she, Tony?
Absolutely.
I think a large number of these young women who are competing here today will certainly be in admiration of Maddie Wish and carrying on the tradition of Valerie Adams.
And leading the shot at the moment is Carmen Moritz from Westlake Girls with a put of 14.28. These girls throw the 3 kg shot. Of course, the senior woman in New Zealand throw the 4 kg shot. So,
Sarah Elliott from Onehunga High School and Lisa Elliott from Onehunga High School. Senior girls, 800 metres final.
and ironically, our leader is from Westlake Girls, and that's Kaya Tupu Smith. South is from Westlake Girls, who's our record holder in the senior girls shot at 17.54. So neither of our two most famous names, shot putter, hold the school's record.
And on screen we have the senior girls 800 metres finalists. the 8 athletes contesting this event, and they're on the track, nervously awaiting instructions to go to their marks.
So we've got,
and as you've already said, we've had a sensational junior boys 800 metres, and we're likely to have a very classy senior girls. The field assembled, just awaiting an all clear from the officials.
It's nervous moments for these young ladies as they're standing there. Well, I want to try and keep a little bit warm, because it's just with no sun, with a complete cloud cover. It's not cold, but it's just a chill in the air still, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a wee, there's a little nip that you, if the sun was shining, wouldn't be aware of. And quite often the delay just could come from the phototomic team, who are just making adjustments from the last race. It may be they just need to check that now this time they're ready to go.
And to be fair on the officials, we're going about 3 minutes early, which is always good at this stage on the final day to keep things well on time. So we'll keep an eye on the clock as they break lanes at the top of the back straight, and we've got the Hallier twins out on the far side. Looks like they're coming through to the front.
It's not difficult to pick the twins, is it, really?
No.
So we've got an idea. Just, it's a very quick tempo.
You can see Bo Ritchie there moving through into the third spot. I think that's
479 and 480. That's the way the twins should have probably been numbered, I guess. And Bo Ritchie.
479 is Lisa leading Sarah.
777 at the.
And they're coming up very fast as well.
They are looking at this time as they come down.
60 seconds or 61, 62 first lap.
Yeah, that's quick.
So that's definitely on record pace.
And the three have broken away at the stage, haven't they? So the two Hallier twins, followed by Bo Ritchie. A gap has opened up to our fourth place getter.
Lisa Hallier's run 2.7, so Bo will be really working hard to go with them, but
yeah, 131 at 600, so the pace is
they pushed it real hard down the back straight, haven't they?
They have.
And I would think Richie's strength over 1500 will come to play in the last 100. She's starting to pull them in a little bit, but
it's not all over. It's looking very composed in third place and moving out. This is a great finish as they sweep into the home straight, and here she comes away now, Bo Ritchie.
The composure of her experience definitely coming through, and 2 minutes is up now, so she's definitely going to break Angie Petty's record. And that's another brilliant record.
2:05 something. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, but again, these are ideal conditions for.
Absolutely perfect for middle distance running out there at the moment.
Yep.
Not too hot. Absolutely little to no breeze. Just a cool, crisp air.
All right, so we're having some sensational running. And real full credit to the Hallier twins, isn't it, really? They set that race up.
And they're happy because they'll have got some best times, I'm sure. 2:05.38 for Bo Ritchie, so another record, almost 3 seconds off Angie Petty's, or Angie Smith as she was in those days, and when she set the record of 2:08. So we'll watch to see what Hallier said. 2:06.64, so that is inside the record as well, and a personal best for Lisa Hallier.
Right, and here we got the rerun of that race, and we see Bo Ritchie going down the outside, but the Hallier twins still racing strongly and determinedly.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see. I mean, they pushed this third 200, which was really good, and you can see that gap almost open a little bit on Richie, but she's had that international experience now. Been to 3 World Junior Championships at her age group of 17, under 20 championships, and her composure showed there when she didn't let panic set in, which is easy to happen. So yeah, the twins. Not much splitting the twins, 206.64 to 206.88. You can see why they're twins. And then a fine run also by Samantha Lascelles from St Margaret's with 2:10.
That's right, and we've got those on the board, on the screen there now, and that we can see that's a quality result, isn't it, for our 8 lead 800 metre runners here.
Yeah, and this is going to be just as exciting, this next race as well, the men's 800.
All right, so there.
It's Maya Phillips on your screen there at the moment in the shot, girls' shot.
And we're back onto the 800 metres senior boys. And yeah, we came from the weather's in Timaru has treated us well, and these athletes would be very grateful for what's.
Yeah, so there's plenty of good athletes that are in the mix here. Joe Martin from Wellington College in lane 4. George Wiley with the blonde hair at Tauranga Boys, he's doing the double. Hamish Murray from Aquinas also in lane 6, and then there's some guys that have got good speed at the finish. Connell McLean from Westlake in 7, and Fletcher Van Hooven from Matamata in 8, and then of course Angus Sevier, the redhead lad from Kashmir High. So this is going to be interesting to see if it's a tactical battle or whether someone's going to take it out hard. It looks like Sevier's at the front at the moment.
Yep, just had a wee glance there as he went across, just to see, look, I don't really want to be leading this, I don't think. And so probably the pace isn't quite, certainly not in the previous race.
Yes, no, it's cat and mouse, and then it looks like it's Blake Miskell from St Pat Silverstream in the light blue is going to come round, and he's only, one of the lads that's got a timer just under, 1:58 I think it is, and so he won't want it to be slow. So there in the black with the yellow trim is Joe Martin on the outside, making sure he's staying out of trouble from Wellington College.
All right, so yeah, they're coming down. That's been a fairly pedestrian.
58, 59 first lap, so it's going to be a burn up here, and always some interest can happen when that happens in a race like this. So.
That's what championships often about.
Yeah, so Sevier seems in control at the moment, but we'll see who's got the better kick here, because there's still no tempo really in this race down the back straight. They're coming to the 600 about 1:26.
Yes, that's right. It hasn't really, and it's going to go on from now, really.
Yes.
And here it comes.
And who's the first break? It's and then Joe Martin's coming around with the Westlake boy in there, and yeah, so this is going to be very interesting.
Right, so out they're spread out across the track, and they'll continue to come from all directions.
It is Joe Martin, and here comes George Wiley at the fair end as well. Is he going to get up? But Joe Martin from Wellington College, and Wiley, I think, might have got that dip on the inside. So that was a very tactical race, but yeah, taken out in style there in the finish. So patient Joe Martin waited his time and came through, and he'll be very happy about that performance. Yeah, Killing Carl can have a shot now. So Martin's time 1:54.78. So, and a great finish there by George Wiley, just taking the second place ahead of Connell McLean, who has a good 400 kick. So Wiley second in 1:55.38, and Connell McLean from Westlake 1:55.39. Fletcher Van Hooven 1:56.11. As I said, those two lads in third and fourth, we definitely knew they had some good 400 speed. So there's been plenty of excitement here on track with the 800 metre races this morning, that's for sure. Two New Zealand secondary school records, one going to Sam Ruth in the juniors and one to Bo Ritchie in the senior girls, with some astonishing racing there with the girls and twin girls in second there, the Hellier sisters. welcome in to Kelly O'Hagan, who's going to join Carl Jackson in the seat, and Kevin and I will take a break after all that excitement of the 800s, and they'll be taking a look, I think, at the senior girls shot as they continue that, and the senior boys discus before we head back to the track.
Morena, it's great to be back for another wonderful day here at Aorangi Park.
Excellent, Morena, Kelly, and it's great to have you, and then we'll welcome in Carl.
So it looks like we've just had Michaela Sola there in her second round, or potentially her third round. I've only just sat down, so I'm not sure if that was the second or third yet. But so far her best is a 12:29 of the day. It looks like it was the third round, and there was a 12:82, so that is her best round of the day. We're leaving her in fourth position at the moment. We've got Jessica McClellan here. Jessica is from Bayfield High School. And Morena, Carl.
Morena, how are you this morning?
Yeah, not too bad. It's a little bit chillier today than I thought it was going to be.
Definitely a bit cooler, which I think was conducive for the 800s. We just saw recently records in the senior girls and the junior boys 800.
Yeah, pretty fast times down there.
Yeah, very impressive 2:05 for Bo Ritchie and 1:51 for Sam Ruth out of Tauranga Boys College.
And a lot of those from the 800 will also be doing the 1500 later on today.
Yes, that's right. Sam Ruth got the record yesterday in the heats, and he'll be backing up again today in the final to go for the double. He might also be in the Tauranga Boys College 4x4 as well, I think.
He will be a tired boy at the end of the day.
Yes, he will be. Good to see some familiar names here in the senior girls shot put. Michaela Sola would be a relative of Shaka Sola, trading out of the Solar Academy in Lower Hutt. Shaka competed for Samoa many years ago in the shot put.
And currently we have Bear Christie from James Hargest College, done in Otipoti, Dunedin, if my geography skills are correct. Yes, there's a lot of familiar names from the previous events of the weekend. We've got Carmen Moritz from Westlake Girls High School. Pretty sure that yesterday she took out the hammer throw as well, or the senior discus. Let's double check that.
She is a very good discus thrower, so that would sound right.
Must have been the discus. They had they had that on yesterday afternoon, so would have been the discus throw that she took out there in a high 44.
Just looking at the records for the senior girl shot put and the 3 kg implement. Kaya Tupu South from Westlake Girls back in 2020 had the shot put out to 17 metres 54. Surprised Valerie Adams is not in the record book. She was definitely competing at that age. It just shows how the progression of that event, it's wonderful to see.
From Wellington College, 41.56 metres, and at this stage, after the first round, Jack Dowell from St Patrick's College Silverstream in third with
Isla Beta. might just be inside the foul line.
Could place students for the boys 800 metre senior and girls 800 metre senior.
Got a bit of an action-packed field morning this morning. Currently, obviously, in front of us, we've got the shot put. We also have the Poroawhio discus, senior boys discus starting, as well as the Kairere long jump, senior girls long jump, and the boys tupeke, boys junior high jump is currently beginning as well. So it's a lot of field events going on at the moment. I can see that they're setting out for the hurdles currently. It looks like it's the short hurdles. So that will be one of the next events that we'll see on the track. But for now, we've just got a jam-packed schedule of field events. As we can see there, there's just a little bit of the tupeke, the high jump from the junior boys going on, as well as in the background the Poroawhio discus for senior boys happening as well. So hopefully over the course of the next little while we'll be able to catch glimpses of everything going on.
Yeah, it's pretty busy out there today. The rain is threatening. I makariri aki te rangi I tēnei rā ki Timaru. Definitely cooler here today.
And then on the straight go around and try and win. I was hoping for a first lap like last year. And if it was a 65, I was going at 400. Well, at one point,
Great to be able to bring this broadcast to you on Whakaata Māori. Proudly supported by Apollo Projects, New Zealand Carbon Farming, Bailey's and Caltex.
And I want to give a big shout out to all the officials. I did it yesterday as well, but for those that are taking, you know, some leave and extended period of time to be able to have this event happen for our rangatahi, without them standing out there for multiple days on end, we wouldn't be able to do this. So big thank you to all that have been involved, both in field and behind the scenes. A lot goes on to make this possible alongside our sponsors. We have Sunita Hewitt in this shot put circle at the moment, going in for her third round. We do have 27 athletes in the shot put, so it isn't a fast competition this morning because there are many athletes. So they will be cutting that down to likely 8 in the field after this round. So the top 8 performances will get 3 more throws. Currently Zenith Leilua from Mount Albert Grammar going in for her third throw. 10.24, as you can see there on the left, is her current best. See some of the girls in the background there practicing for their upcoming throws, trying to get into the positions that they're wanting to. It is a technical power event. Oh, and someone in the background there giving the camera a nice wave.
Track event, which is the senior boys 110 metre hurdles final. I have had a AirPod container handed in, and I know there was somebody from Mount Albert Grammar was looking for that. So if you're from Mount Albert
Brooke
Grammar,
Ebden Collins eagerly waiting there, her result from that throw.
Was somebody else?
And that was a 9:30 there for Brooke Ebden Collins, who just threw from Hillmorton High School in Ototahi.
Just looking through the competitor list here in the senior girls shot put, a lot of surnames from rugby league circles. We have Papile, we have Saifiti, Lailua, all current players in the NFL, maybe somehow relatives in some shape or form. But in the circle now, Zara Brunton, 9.64 in the first round. Just inside the foul line as well. There seem to be a few of the athletes hugging the left side.
Thank you to Kevin O'Sullivan, who will be presenting the medal.
So 9.64 there will be Zara's best throw of the day. Not quite likely enough to get her through to the remaining few throws, but a really solid effort there for Zara Brunton from Craighead Diocesan. It looks like we've got the hurdles action going to be starting soon. You can see them in the background there, setting up the hurdles, and all the competitors lining up, getting ready to race. And here's the lineup for the senior boys 110 metre hurdles. We have lane 1 Ethan Duke Norris from Christchurch Boys High, lane 2 Dylan Jackson from Christ College, 3 Connor Gilliland from Central Southland College, 4 Ty Gonzalez Mount Albert Grammar, 5 Noah Retford, 6 Harry Williamson, 7 Juan Pesley, and unfortunately I did not catch the final name. I don't have a list in front of me yet of lane 8. There we go, and lane 8 was Hamish Gillett from Papanui High. They are in their blocks at the moment. Oh, they've just been called to stand back up, so they will just have to wait momentarily while the officials sort out the blocks or the line. Starters can often call people back for a variety of different reasons. There may have been an issue with blocks or with where the competitor had their hands particularly. And they're away.
Lane 3, Connor Gilliland. Also, lane 4, maybe Ty Gonzalez, Mount Albert Grabber. Or Noah Retford from Botany Downs. Let's just wait to see the official times on the screen.
I think it may have been Noah Retford who took that one out from Botany Downs.
Yeah, very good personal best, 14.36. Let's see how close he got to that today. And 14.58 for Noah Retford. First place. Second place, Connor Gilliland, 14.71, and Harry Williamson, 14.84, rounds out the podium.
We had one did not finish in that race, so that is the final 7 for the senior boys Timaru Te Mita 110 metre hurdles. Really solid effort there from Noah Retford taking out that title.
We have the boys discus competing at the moment. Currently Jira Izika from Mount Elmwood Grammar is leading with 51.27. Finn McLeod, Christchurch Boys High School in second, currently 50.52. And Hector O'Rourke, Southland Boys High School, 48 metres, 0.00 in the second round. They're their top 3 in the senior boys discus throwing the 1.5 kg implement. We also have the high jump taking place at the moment. There are the bars at 1 metre 65.
Just walking out of the rohipanga, the circle there for the Poroafio was Finn McLeod in his second throw. So he's currently in second place there. And just waiting on confirmation of the updated distance there for that throw. And that was a foul there for Finn McLeod in his second throw. So Finn from Christchurch Boys High School in Ototahi has the leading personal best for the field. So no doubt he'll be wanting to push his performance today a little bit higher. And an honorary mention here for currently in third Hector O'Rourke. His personal best is, but coming into this competition, appears to be 38.10, and he threw 48 metres. So that is a almost 10 metre distance in a personal best. So that is a very awesome effort there, and it's great to see that things are obviously coming together for him today.
Yeah, huge improvement. It shows the competition can often bring out the best in athletes.
Definitely a good environment for improving. You know, you've got a lot of adrenaline often running and surging through your body, and that, along with the hype and excitement that competition brings, can just bring out some pretty elevated and amazing performances for many people. And that was Emma Louisa Papali in her third round there. Apologies, it was in her fourth round there. So we have the top 8 currently doing in the senior girls shot put, currently doing their fourth round. So the field was 27 and has been narrowed down to 8 competitors, with Melanite Javier in the circle at the moment with a best of 12.54. She looks pretty happy with that throw there. Some big smiles. Carly Sherp from Southland Girls High School just stepping in front of the stop board there, which means that it is a foul. So obviously wasn't too happy with that throw, so decided to just step in front, so it's not going to be measured.
Ruby Jones, Tauranga Girls College, down the middle. Laser measurement these days, not the tape that we're used to seeing. Nau mai haere mai ti panui au nā ma whakatete au Aotearoa ara hia Timaru. Mena kei te whakaronga ko te whakatuaranga whakata Māori.
Michaela Solar in the circle from Hutt Valley High School for her fourth attempt. She is currently sitting in fourth place in the senior girls Pangamata shot throw that we have going on here. Looking like it's a pretty stiff competition in the top 6. Not a lot between them. And that throw was 12.64 there for Michaela Solar from Hutt Valley High.
On screen now we have the 110 metre junior hurdles. Lane 1, Nelson College, Marlon Brown. In 2, Britain Vaint, Whakatapu High School. In 3, Rianko Haggard, Howard College, Tamaki Makaurau. Connor Brady, also from Tamaki Makaurau, representing Takapuna Grammar School. In 5, Daquin Sue, Western Springs College. In 6, Theodore Henderson, Auckland Grammar School. 7, Vern Talamai Holden, Christchurch Boys High School. And in lane 8, Hemi Peachy, Hamilton Boys High School, out of Waikato. Look for Rianko Haggard in 3 for the personal best of 12.96 to get out of the blocks quickly. Very impressive time.
And we have the junior boys away in the Taiaparo meter, 100 metre hurdles. Leading in front there is Rianko Haggard from Howick College, taking it out.
Yeah, I think maybe second was out wide, maybe lane 7 or lane 8 maybe.
To wait for confirmation of who was in second, but that was Rianko Haggard from Howick College and Tamaki Makoto, who took that out in a 13.11, which appears to be a record. We will just confirm that there. And indeed, that was a... Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the senior ones. Let's just make sure that I've got the right ones. We'll go to the junior boys. I can find the form in front of me, but it appears to be so. Just confirming, sorry that took a little bit longer, but for the 100 metre hurdles for the junior boys, the previous record was held by Chris Widemu, who I actually competed with back in the day from Christchurch Boys High School in Otatahi, and that was 13.24, and the Rianko Haggard got 13.11 to take that out from Howick College. So that's pretty impressive there. I've seen a few records go already this morning, which is a great start to the day. It's been a pretty impressive championships with many. And we are, as you can see in front, back at the shot put. They're still in their 5th round, or just entering their 5th round now. A few have already had some throws.
Ruby Jones on screen. It's the best of 12 metres 66 in round 2. White flag. She doesn't seem overly happy, but let's see what the official measurement is. She, as we await that, to see if she can move into a podium position. Currently sitting at 14 metres and 7 centimetres. And it's 12 metres 30, so not an improvement from round 2 for Ruby Jones of Tauranga Girls College. Michaela Solar into the circle next from Hutt Valley High School. I think she's the daughter of Shaka Solar, who represented Samoa at the 2005 World Championships. Good plot out there. Obviously Hutt Valley High School, very proud school. Probably the most famous athlete, Nick Willis, Commonwealth Games gold medalist and a silver medalist in the 1500 metres at the Olympics. Jonathan White, very top athlete to also come out of Hutt Valley High back in the day, and Nick Willis's older brother Stephen Willis was a sub 4 minute miler. So very rich history out of Hutt Valley High School. Michaela Solar back into the circle. Great form displayed here by Fiona Steeple. 14 metres 55 is her best mark so far.
A lot of the girls that we have in the shot put we're all in the top 8 or 10 within the discus as well. And we currently have the girls senior 100 metre final here, hurdle final. As we can see, we have a clear winner there. I didn't quite catch their bib number, but it looks like it might have been Lauren Barrett Hamilton from Green Bay High School that took that one out there. Little bit of a tumble at the back there, so hopefully that competitor is okay. But she's got other people coming and checking on her, which is the great thing about sport, and you can see some awesome sportsmanship and how all the athletes really care for each other.
Good to see smiles there from the girls after they're completing the 100 metre hurdles event. Wind is pretty minimal today, the wind reading at 0.2 metres per second. Very as much cooler out there today, as you can see some of the people in the background wearing long sleeve clothing, and but it is expected to reach a high of 27 degrees today as per forecast, but that won't be till 3 or 4 this afternoon.
And there may be an increase in the wind as well, unfortunately, so hopefully a lot of the races are able to get out of the way and events out of the way before that increase. There is a bit of a gale warning for some parts of the Canterbury region and Timaru, so hopefully we're able to avoid that for most of the day. As you can see there, that is the girls 100 metre hurdles senior final. The top 8 there, with Lauren Barrett Hamilton from Green Bay High School taking that out. Second going to Jade Wilson from Otago Girls High School, and third Juliet McKinley from Whanganui Collegiate. And back to the senior girls Pangamata. They are in the business end of the competition and going into the final round. So currently the leader is Kate Halley from Takapuna Grammar School. Apologies, that is not... yes, it is correct. 14.67 there. Closely followed by Fiona Siapo from Linfield College with a 14.55. So we've seen a little bit of a shuffle in the top 3 in the final, in the last 2 rounds of the competition. So it's getting very competitive out there. And no doubt we may see 1 or 2 changes throughout this round. It's always a bit nerve-wracking when going into your final round and someone can just throw a very, very good shot or and overtake a few of the others and put them out of the medal position.
I think we saw that at the Olympics with the Kiwi athlete Maddie Wishy. Yeah, I think was she leading going into the last round and then just got pipped maybe? Yeah,
she was leading for that final up until round 6, and then it may have even been the final throw of the German shot putter there, and she overtook Maddie. But that's the nature of sport, and I guess that is what makes some of it very exciting to watch, because you never really know what will happen, and competition brings out the best of people in those environments, and especially in such the atmosphere of the Olympics when you've got 70,000-80,000 people cheering you on. That was Ruby Jones from Tauranga Girls College in her final throw there. Current best of 12.66 that she got in her second round. And she will remain with a best of 12.66 in that competition. That throw was 11.71, so not quite enough to overtake her previous best of the competition. And in the Rohipanga, the circle, we have Michaela Sola from Hutt Valley High School, currently sitting in 5th place. Sorry.
She looks quite happy with her throw there, and great to see her cheer on her fellow competitor who's up next, which will be Carly Sherp out of Southland Girls High School. So 12 metres 51 for Michaela Sola out of Hutt Valley High School. So her best result today will be 13.17, currently sitting in 5th position.
And currently in 2nd place position is Fiona Siapo, who just threw there, has a white flag go up. Hard to tell from the emotion on her face how she thought the throw went. I think she's eagerly awaiting that result. Doesn't look too unhappy with it though. Ooh, there was a few claps behind, so interesting to see how that was. It was a 14.36, so pretty close to her 4th round throw of 14.55, but she will remain in 2nd place at the moment after that throw.
So that guarantees Kate the victory. She has the last throw of the competition and cannot be surpassed now. So final throw or maybe we have Carmen Maritz maybe. Might have spoken too soon there. Usually they throw in order of position.
They may not have rejuggled the order in that final round, so heading into and that was a decent throw that has extended her lead there of 14.98 for Kate Halley, very close to her personal best of 15.01, just a few centimetres away. This is Carmen Maritz in her final round of the shot put competition. Currently sitting in 3rd place, is the only person that may be able to push either Kate Halley or Fiona Siapo out of their positions, but she is definitely guaranteed a bronze in any case.
It's a white flag, which is great because she had 4 fouls before that, and it is a final throw of 14.61, which does improve her to the silver medal position ahead of Fiona Siapo, who was third with 14.55. So 6 centimetres ahead of third place for Carmen Maritz from Westlake Girls High School in Tamaki Makaurau.
And that's actually an exact flip of the senior girls Poroafio Discus that was yesterday, because Carmen Maritz won that, and Kate Haley of Takapuna Grammar was second. So that has reversed today, with Kate Haley winning the Pangamata shot put here, and Carmen Maritz from Westlake taking out silver. So a pretty good day in the office for those two, with multiple medals, and Fiona Siapo there from Linfield College with third. As you can see in the just to the left of that tent in front of you, in the middle of the screen, they're setting up the steeplechase. So that will be the next event that is on the track. The Taiapa Toru Mano Mita 3,000 metre steeplechase. Have not run one. Have you run one before?
Steeplechase, yeah, I've run quite a few of those. I think I ran the 2K steeplechase in my last year, competing at the New Zealand Secondary School Track and Field Champs back in Auckland, and showing my age now, 1993. When was it? Maybe I ran it in 92.
Before I was born.
There you go. Yeah, there was. I thought I could sneak a medal in the 2K steeplechase, but a lot of other very good runners that year decided to do the same. So I lined up with runners like Michael Ace, who ran in the Olympics for New Zealand, Duncan Ross out of Whanganui Collegiate, who was probably the best runner in that particular year group. Brian Bothwell went on to run 8 minutes 38 in the steeple. Ran for University of Portland on a running scholarship. So I think that particular year there was about 7 athletes in the final running under 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Yeah, the 2K steeplechase is a good event at this level, because athletes who can run the 1500 metres, it's not too much different in terms of the energy systems. You don't clear the first steeple for the first 250, 300 metres. So it almost feels like a 1700 metre steeple in some ways, and the steeples aren't overly high, and a lot of these athletes, as you've seen walking around today and competing on our screens, they're actually all quite tall, so getting over the steeples doesn't tend to be too much of an issue, and it's the ones who can clear the steeples effectively and efficiently and use minimal energy are the ones who tend to fare best. When you're using a lot of energy to go over the steeples, it does really drain you, and you do see the athletes fatigue in the latter part of the race. So we've got it looks like a good field here in the junior girls 2,000 metre steeplechase. We have a field of approximately 7 athletes from a range of different schools: Whanganui Collegiate, Rutherford College, Upper Hutt College, my hometown, St Andrews College, Timaru Girls High School, Fielding High School, and Waimea College as well. So should be a great event. I imagine some of these athletes will be looking for cover early to avoid any breeze down the back straight, and there is a physical, I guess, saving when you are in behind athletes, but it's also quite mentally makes a big difference too. If you're just sitting behind someone, all you have to do is think about running on their toes behind them. It mentally it makes quite a big difference, and then it allows them to sort of come around in the later part of the race and potentially surge clear. So let's see the tactics of these athletes. 2,000 metres. They'll be on the track for around 7.5 minutes, I would think. record is Charlie Miller, St Peter's School out of Cambridge, back in 2016. Her time was 6 minutes 57. We have a couple of athletes here today who've run under 7 minutes 30. Picture of the grandstand on our screen. It was very much in demand yesterday when the sun was out and athletes and supporters were seeking the shade, but today it's definitely cooler. Most people have got their jeans and hoodies on, not too many people running around in t-shirts today.
Definitely took me by surprise. I was wearing shorts when I first got here, and then it was like, oh, I might need to change into some longs because it's a lot cooler than you think. I think the cloud cover just definitely makes it chillier. Whereas yesterday we didn't have any cloud cover at all. Starter Debbie Fern there, just standing there with the starting gun. She's the chief starter for the event this week. Wife of well-known jump coach Ed Fern. They're very prominent and very key members of the community of officials and coaches here. Always moving around the country supporting all the competitions and athletes throughout the country. It's great when you just see and get to know everyone around and have familiar faces.
The 2K steeplechase is quite a unique event in that it actually differs from track to track, because some tracks the water jumps on the inside of the track, which means obviously per that loop or per that lap they're actually running less than 400 metres. But on other tracks the water jump can be on the outside of the track, which means they're actually running further than 400 metres, so therefore they have to move the start line further back or bring it forward depending on if the water jump is on the inside or the outside. Most tracks in New Zealand, the water jump is on the inside of the track. I'm pretty sure it's like that on most tracks around New Zealand, and it makes sense to do that because obviously there is there's real estate on the inside of the track as opposed to the outside. But I know in Europe and a lot it just means that the curve to get to the outside is not as tight, whereas when you have to actually turn left onto the inside of the track, sometimes that turn can be quite sharp, and it's at the speed of the top athletes that can be a hindrance. So we're just waiting for the start of the girls 2,000 metre steeplechase.
It appears that on this track it's on the inside of the field as well. Just trying to see there at the moment, but it does look like there's a lot of officials congregating around a steeple, which appears to be on the inside there, close to where the shot put competitions were earlier.
Often it can have cost considerations when building a track, because if you have the water jump on the outside of lane 8, it does require more infrastructure, which obviously costs money. So, and as we know, a lot of our stadiums in New Zealand are multi-purpose. The inside, the grass section, is often used for football. I know Newtown Park in Wellington has hosted football games, and various other tracks around. Often can become tough though, because during the summer season with the shot puts landing on the inside, it does leave imprints into the ground, which can then become a hazard for a sport like football.
I guess that's why somewhere like Newtown Park is great, because although they have both ends, you can have a shot put circle. They would use the one that isn't actually going into the infield. They have a shot put circle to the right hand side, so the south side of the stadium, that doesn't land on the field. It's like I don't know what the ground would be, but kind of like clayish that it lands on, so it doesn't have an impact on the grass, which is great. However, for the bigger events like nationals, they do hold it on the infield circle at the other end. Just going to the discus throw here. It is Case Fatatolai from Wellington College, who appears to be going into the rohipanga soon, the circle soon. He's currently sitting in 7th place, so they must be heading into the 4th round.
Just looking at the list of competitors in the senior boys discus. Jack Stowers, St Patrick's Silverstream out of Upper Hutt. His father Aiken Stowers was a very good javelin thrower in the early 1990s and represented New Zealand at the World Juniors in that event. In the background now, the junior girls 2,000 metre steeplechase has started. So a nice clean start on the junior girls 2,000 metre steeplechase. As I mentioned earlier, they run the first 300 metres without a steeple, and the officials will be out there now putting the steeples out as they, there we go, they have over their first steeple at the sort of 200 metre mark. And they cut on the inside now to approach the water pit. Most athletes these days place one foot on the steeple, but often on the professionals you'll see them actually clear the water pit and actually try and, it's almost like long jump, they just jump as far as they can over the steeple and land ideally with 1 foot so they can continue their forward momentum through the water pit.
Must take a little bit of a, must be a bit of a fine art with getting over the steeple, especially when your legs are getting tired, because you definitely don't want to lose that momentum and kind of decelerate too much coming off it.
That's right, the athletes who slow down the least often are the ones who succeed, and it's the ones who, oh, we just seen an athlete go down there, but she gets up and continues, which is great to see. Steeplechase, you know, is a lot of coordination is required, because often you need a clear run into the steeple, so you can't typically run with an athlete directly in front of you because you need to raise your lead leg to get over the steeple, and often athletes will go wide to make sure they have a clear run. No difference to a horse steeplechase race. The horses do the same, and we see it here with athletes too in the running events. So second time over the water jump, a nice clearance. Athlete there in second landed with 2 feet, which is not preferable, because when you land with 2 feet that means you come to literally a standstill, whereas the leading athlete there landed on 1 foot and then continued to move forward. And that looks like it might be Hannah Byam from Wanganui Collegiate leading at the moment. In second place, Amy Thompson, Rutherford College, Tamaki Makaurau. And then I think maybe in third it might be Zoe Hilton from Upper Hutt College. Upper Hutt College also has a good pedigree of athletes over the years. Malcolm Bruce won the senior boys 800 metres in about 1988, I recall. He's now a partner at KPMG, still based in Wellington.
So how much, coming from someone who doesn't do a lot of distance running, how much training would they have to do for the actual steeples?
I think these athletes will combine running for general fitness, because combined with some specific hurdling skills. I know when I used to train for the steeplechase, I'll probably do maybe 1 or 2 sessions a week, just practicing clearing the steeple with, you know, maximum efficiency and not trying to go over it too high. So if you go over too high, you go up and you go down, whereas you want to kind of go over smoothly. So it's really, flexibility is quite important, because if you can have your lead leg and then have your follow leg come through behind, so yeah, it's really important to go over as smoothly as possible, and that will minimise your energy expenditure. But we've got a new leader now in the steeplechase, Amy Thompson from Rutherford College. Tamaki Makaro's taking the lead over Hannah Byam, Whanganui Collegiate. Amy 41 foot on the steeple, with Hannah clearing the steeple altogether. So there's all different styles. Some touch with their right leg as their lead leg, some with their left, and some clear the steeple completely. So all different styles here.
Pretty clear lead at the moment there for Amy, and Hannah closely following by. And just briefly heading back to the senior discus.
That's St. Pat's Silverstream on screen, so that might in fact be Jack Stowers potentially. Can't see any other athletes there from St. Pat's Silverstream, so I think it might indeed be him. Into the water pit for the 4th time. Great technique by both of these athletes. It is a very tough event. Probably requires the strength of a 3K runner, even though it's only 2,000 metres. The steeples every 80 metres really does take it out of these athletes.
And so at this age they do the 2,000 metres steeple, but as they progress through, the senior is a Taiapa Toru Mano metre, which is 3,000 metre steeples. So that's what they will be progressing through to once they transition to the seniors, the open seniors, that is.
So they actually do run 2,000 metres right through the schooling grades, and then they'll do 3,000 metres once they become an adult. So 20 years old, they'll
open
start
seniors,
yeah, which is good, because it means, you know, athletes are still developing their strength, and the 3,000 metre steeplechase is really hard. It's a really hard event. It's probably need the strength of a 5 kilometre runner to be really effective over 3,000, and we saw that with Geordie Beamish, who's fantastic over both of those events, the 3K steeple and the 5K.
And Amy Thompson with a clear lead at the moment from Rutherford College. She's coming into the final water jump. And she's looking pretty relaxed. It must be pretty nice on a when it's a hot day to be jumping through the water jump. Just getting a bit of cool water going over you as you're going around, although I can imagine it's not very nice when it's in your shoes.
Yeah, running with wet feet's not ideal, but look, great run here from Amy Thompson, clear win. Approximately 7 minutes and 23 seconds for Amy, so that's pretty much an equal PB, I think, for her. The other athletes, Hannah Byam and Zoe Hilton, have also run 7:22, so great running for these athletes. And a tight finish there, I think, for, was that 3rd and 4th or 4th and 5th? So back to the discus, throwing the 1.5 kg implement. Athlete number 623.
So if you're tuning in and looking at the live results, unfortunately we do not have we've got a bit of a technical issue there that we're not updating just at the moment, so we aren't able to give an accurate rankings yet of first, second and third of where everyone's sitting.
James Moore in the circle now for Christchurch Boys High School. Very powerful throw. Just waiting to see if it's a white flag. He has walked up the back, so I think he will be a legitimate throw there.
Hector followed by Finn.
If you're just tuning in now, there's been some great performances on the track earlier today. We saw records from Sam Ruth in the junior boys 800 metres. He ran a time of 1 minute 51.23, which took 2 or 3 seconds off the record, I think previously held by Dallas Bowden. And in the senior girls 800 metres, it was a fantastic event. The Hallier sisters were leading with 100 metres to go, and Bo Ritchie from St. Peter's School came through for the win and the record in 2:05.38 ahead of Lisa Hallier 2:06.64 and her sister Sarah Hallier from Onehunga High School 2:06.88. And in the junior boys 100 metre hurdles, Rianko Haggard out of Howard College, Tamaki Makaro, ran a record of 13.11. So that's 3 records I know of this morning. There might be some, and obviously yesterday there was a few records too. I'm expecting some fast times today in the 200 metres and the 400 metres. As I mentioned earlier, it is cooler out there today. And in the circle now, athlete number 148, Finn McLeod, Christchurch Boys High School. There is some participation expected here in Timaru, and luckily for these events in the field right now, the concrete is dry, because it can become a health and safety issue when the circle becomes wet and they lose their footing, so they'll be ecstatic that the rain has kept away so far.
So it does look like the high jump bar is slightly bent there, but the officials do take the measurement from both sides and the middle to make sure that the height is even throughout the whole thing and is accurate. But that's just kind of showing what the perception of the camera angles can sometimes do, because sometimes throws look further than they are or less than they are, but they're actually a lot better, or not quite as good. But at the moment we have the boys 2,000 metre steeplechase going. They've just started there and heading over their first steeple. We have 14 athletes competing in this race.
And looks like some quite recognisable surnames in today's race. I recognise Bear Waldrum, St. Patrick's College Silverstream. Not sure if he's the son of either Scott Waldrum or Thomas Waldrum. Thomas Waldrum played 5 tests for the England rugby team, and his brother Scott played for New Zealand, not a test match, but played for New Zealand against Munster in 2008, but was a stalwart of the New Zealand men's 17s for a number of years. So good to see Bear Waldrum competing. We've also got Ryan Gillam, that's a name that sounds familiar too, from the Taranaki region, running for Francis Douglas Memorial College. The Gillam family was very active in the running scene in the late 90s, early 2000s. But up front is good, nice running styles, all varied. You got the runner in front, a very upright style. The second runner sort of leaning forward a bit. So it's always good to see all shapes and sizes competing. As a bit hard to identify who that lead runner is at the moment. Record here held by Zane Powell, King's College, back in 2018, ran 6:14.9.
4010.
So that might be Timo McDonald from Auckland Grammar School leading, and in second place could be Danielle Wordsworth from Papanui High School, and in fact he's taken the lead. Further back from Westlake Boys High School, Thomas Evatt, Zach Pudney, and Bear Waldron is clearing the steeple there. So two athletes out in front, broken away from the second pack, which contains 4 athletes. This is a straight final for these athletes, so a lot of them should be fresh. Some of them might have competed in the 1500 metres yesterday and potentially might be in the final later today. Good clearance from these athletes over the steeple. They'll cut into the infield soon for the water jump. And just watch their styles. They usually increase their speed a little bit to get the momentum, and there we go. Daniel Wordsworth leads with his left leg onto the steeple, with Timo McDonald actually leading with his right leg. They'll very much have wet feet now, having dipped into the steeple water pit 3 times. Just starting to see a bit of a gap form now. Daniel Wordsworth just inching slightly clear of Timo McDonald, and third place is now broken clear from that pack and is gaining on the first 2 athletes. We'll try and pick up who that is. We have 180 schools competing this weekend, so it's a lot of uniforms to try and identify. So we do often rely on the race numbers to identify the rangatahi here competing in Timaru. Timo McDonald has bridged that gap. In fact, he might have just taken the lead there briefly. And he slips back in behind again. So they should be approaching the bell. 400 metres left.
They are going through in that final lap at around 5:11.
So they'd have to run a 63-second last lap if they wanted to break the record held by Zane Powell of King's College. A 63 would be pretty tough, I think, but it's not about times, it's about the championship here, the New Zealand Track and Field Championships, the 51st edition, hosted in Timaru, hosted back also in 2008 and 2015. Good to see this event rotated around Aotearoa, and has a significant economic impact on the local communities. All the accommodations booked out in Timaru, Temuka. I had to stay in Geraldine last night. Accommodation was pretty busy there, but down the back straight, 200 metres to go. Both athletes want to lead over the water jump for the final time. It's Timo McDonald over first and pulls clear of Daniel Wordsworth. And let's see if Daniel can respond. Approaching the last and final jump, and he's over. And he accelerates to the lead. Great performance by Timo McDonald, Auckland Grammar School. Unofficially 6 minutes 21, followed by Daniel Wordsworth, Papanui High, in 6 minutes 24. And the third athlete approaching the finish line now in 6 minutes 36 seconds. I'll try and pick up on that name as well for you. No doubt there'll be friends and family knowing exactly who these runners are. We think it might be Ryan Gillen from Francis Douglas Memorial College, but we'll just wait for the official times on that one. And we just cut across to the discus now. Athlete 417, Mount Albert Grammar, is Jira Eskia, is a best so far of 51 metres 27 in round 2.
I believe this may be the final throw of the competition. Looks like he got it out there pretty well. A little bit of needing to keep his balance there, as you could see before. Unfortunately, the live updates for the senior boys discus have not been coming through, so we can't give you a final list of the top 8, but we do believe that was the final throw there for Jira Esikia from Mount Albert Grammar, and that was a foul. However, we do believe that he has taken out the competition today. And hopefully we'll be able to get those live results up at some stage for you online to see them.
Just looking over at the junior boys high jump, which has been taking place right now. Jackson Hippie, John Paul College, has cleared 1m86, which, quick look to the records. Junior boys field, the record is 2m1 by Jaden Williamson from Rosmini College back in 2018. So 1m86 still very impressive. Looks like all the other athletes have actually finished. Does have a PB of 1m80, so it is a personal best for Jackson Hippie. I wonder if he will continue to push forward, maybe attempt 1m89, which coincidentally is the same personal best of my co-commentator sitting next to me.
Indeed, hoping to be improved on to 190 sometime soon. The elusive number, but I've just looked out the window and he has actually put it up to 190. So when you are the final competitor, like Jackson Hippie is, you are able to put the bar up to whatever you wish for that. So once he has become the final competitor, so he's put it up to 1m90. So that will keep you updated as that progresses on.
And we have the senior girls 2,000 metre steeplechase on the line now. They're underway. Very congested field, so athletes running out wide in lane 2. And for those watching on screens, if you run a whole lap in lane 2, you run an extra 8 metres per lap further, which over 5 laps, that's 40 metres. So it's ideal to try and run as close to the pole line as possible to minimise the distance you run.
I wasn't aware it was that much.
Yeah, I think the stagger's in a 4x4. If you think of the stagger in a 4x4, the second lane is typically, I think it's 8 metres forward. Third lane is 16 metres.
Definitely want to try and be as close as you can to the inside. And for the 2,000 metre steeplechase, the current record is held by Rosa Flanagan from Rangiruru Girls School in 6:34. So majority of the girls in this field have a PB within the just around 7 seconds, 7.5. So there's Courtney Fitzgibbon from Waiapehu College with a personal best of 7:03 there, so she'll be trying to push under the 7 metre mark. But Rosa Flanagan was a very well known and prominent runner within the community, went to a world champs and is currently actually expecting her first child.
Oh, that's nice.
Very soon.
Very nice. Currently leading is Ariella Grant from King's College, bib number 344. but it's a very competitive field here, and there's still very much one main pack. A lot of these athletes would not have competed against each other because they are based from all around New Zealand. We have athletes as far south as Gore, St. Peter's College, and as far north as schools in Tamaki Makaurau, St. Cuthbert's College here, and also King's College. Nice to see an athlete here from Waipahu College in Horowhenua.
Top 4 going in around 2 meters 50 as they're coming through. Pretty stable running there from those top 4.
Speaking of Waipahu College, it's I'll put a bit of a quiz question out there to the audience listening. On Whakata Māori, famous All Black came out of Waipahu College back in the day. Second clue, he featured on some TV adverts for biscuits, and currently involved in rugby coaching, and his name is Carlos Spencer. He attended Waipahu College in Levin in the late 1980s, early 1990s. And to the front now is Jacqueline Kowalewski from New Plymouth Girls High School. Aurelia Grant still there as well, and also we have Millie McFadden from St. Peter's College in Gore. Played golf actually with a person who was born in Gore, and he calls himself a Goron. Not sure if you've heard that before, Keely, but
I have not.
If you're from Gore, you're a Goron, and they're very proud to call themselves that. So just a bit of history lesson there for the people listening on screen.
A lot of people from Gore as well have a little bit of that Southland twang in their voice. I don't often hear a bit of a change in accent, except for you can definitely hear a Southland accent in comparison to the rest of the country.
Yeah, I actually co-own a racehorse based out of Ascot Park in Invercargill, and the trainer Rob Dennis sends me through voice files every week of our horse Sacred Dream, and very much hear the R's rolled. They don't tend to lose it too, even when they migrate north to the big cities like Auckland and Christchurch, or maybe Wellington. They do keep their accent. It's probably one of the few. I think most Kiwis and Aussies tend to have an accent, but not many have a regional accent. And Gore is one of those towns where they like to pronounce words slightly differently. That was athlete 473 Jacqueline Kowalewski over the water jump. Yeah, as you can see there, some of the athletes are knee deep in the water. That means they haven't completely cleared, or they have cleared the jump, but not propelling forward to the shallower waters, and it is advantageous to clear the water pit as much as you can, because that's the least amount of water actually coming into your body, and it's actually easier to exit the water if the water's only up to your ankles as opposed to water up to your knees. So at the bell, Millie McFadden is well clear now. I believe it's Millie McFadden. I hope it's not Jacqueline Kowalewski. I haven't got the names confused there. They're really spread out now in the senior girls 2,000 metre steeplechase. So if you're wondering how high the steeples are in this race, they are 76 centimetres high, and it is Jacqueline Kowalewski representing New Plymouth Girls High School out in front as she enters the water pit for the final time. Great clearance, and she'll be looking forward to the finish line that will come through pretty shortly. Time on screen, 6 minutes 35.
Cheeky, we look behind her to see where everyone else is, but she's well clear head of the field. Oh, we have a wee fall there for Millie McFadden, so hopefully she can get up and continue on.
And she's got to break 7 minutes here, which is a fantastic time. In second place from St Mary's College in Wellington, Madison McLean, just approaching the finish line now in a time of approximately 7 minutes and 9 seconds. She came through the field well. And third place looks like it might have been Ariella Grant from King's College, Tamaki Makaurau. Actually, I think maybe Ariella Grant might have been fourth there, so we'll just wait to see who was in third. May have been that athlete we were referring to earlier from Gore, Millie McFadden. And the official times are now in front of us. 6 minutes 56.19 for Jacqueline Kowalewski. In second place, Madison McLean, 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Third place was Millie McFadden, 7 minutes 16. And I think in fourth was Ariella Grant from King's College. It's just wait and see on that. And it was, in fact, Ariella Grant. We do have the graphics back on screen. 7 minutes 21. In the background now, we see the boys warming up. Fifth place, Courtney Fitzgibbon, Waipahu College, 7 minutes 25. Caitlin Kirk, Central Hawke's Bay College, 7 minutes 38. Scarlett Anderson, 7th place, Onslow College in Wellington. Paniki, 7 minutes 47. And Lucy Hannah, Queen Margaret College, also from Wellington. Paniki, 8 minutes and 18 seconds. So up next we will have the senior boys 2,000 metre steeplechase, and they will be after the oldest record in the book that was set in 1975. 5 minutes 52.9, held by Jeff Shaw.
Seems pretty speedy.
Currently these days resides in the eastern suburbs of Howick. He's had some pretty successful children. Lance Shaw played for Auckland, fast bowler. Other son Gareth Shaw represented both Otago and Auckland in cricket. And the third son, Jared Shaw, he's on a 6.2 handicap at Royal Auckland these days. He narrowly got ahead of Lance Shaw on handicap. I think Lance has just got back in front. And they have a daughter too, but I don't know the daughter quite as well. Often seen out with their children now. Hadley Shaw, Grayson Shaw. Be interesting to see if they also take part in athletics. Actually, Gareth Shaw was a podium finisher on the 800 metres. When he was at school, he was up against the Olympian Jason Stewart. He went on to run 1 minute 46.24. He ran that at the heats of the Athens Olympics in 2004. So it was very good to do your personal best at an Olympic Games event, especially in an event which is tactical, like an 800, where you don't just running your lanes and it's timed. It actually involves other athletes and often times can be slow in a championship event. But the 2,000 metre steeplechase boys, this will be a great race. I'm expecting to see some great hurdling technique. No doubt these young boys have been put in the mahi over the last few months in anticipation for this event. Some of these athletes today, it will be their final time running in a high school uniform before they graduate and move on to the senior ranks.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the hurdle height does increase for the senior boys?
Yes, it does. It's 83 centimetres high, which is actually slightly higher than what Jeff Shaw would have had to navigate back in 1975.
There we go. You can see the officials just double checking that it's correct, because if any records are broken today, it does need to be all legit and everything in order.
Yeah, that's right. And I think maybe the height back in 1975 might have been 76 centimetres, which is what the junior boys have to navigate, and also the senior and junior girls have to navigate. So they do increase it marginally for the senior boys, and that 40 the extra distance of 7 centimetres might not sound like much, but when you're having to raise your lead leg 5 times a lap or 25 times throughout the course of the event, it can make a difference. And they're underway now, and I tell you now, if they stay at this pace, they will be breaking Jeff Shaw's record. I wouldn't be surprised if they come through the first 200 metres in around 30 seconds at the speed they're leading out at the moment. So potentially world record pace right now, Keely. Let's see if they can hold this pace. They're really strung out, you can tell. Looks like St. Pat's Silverstream uniform in front, and it is. It's Jargon Gunari Jav Willers from St. Pat's College, Kilburnie. He does have a PB of 5 minutes 59, so I know Jeff Shaw is watching the broadcast right now for Whakata Maori, and he could be concerned. But it will be if he does break the record, it will be a co-listing, because they are over different heights from what they set back in 1975. So great start so far. Jargon Gunari Willers from St. Pat's College, Kilburnie, demonstrating very good technique. He actually clears the steeple without touching it, which in theory should mean he is utilising his energy systems very well. Another good observation you can tell from a good steeplechase is when they actually use different lead legs. So depending on where they are, sometimes the top athletes will lead either with their left or their right. But as humans, we do tend to have a favourite lead leg, just like you, Kelly, in the high jump. You'll always lead with your preferred leg, and you'll stick with it and you practice with it. But in the steeplechase, it's actually advantageous to be actually clear a hurdle from either leg, so you don't actually have to change your run up to the steeple to suit your lead leg, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and I can imagine you don't want to be shortening your strides and stuttering into a steeplechase just to get the right lead leg going over.
And a subtle hint to find out which an athlete's favoured lead leg is, it will always be used on the water jump. So they'll very rarely alternate legs on the water jump. They'll always go to their strongest leg, and I think we just saw then Jaguan actually led with his left. And if you watch him clear the steeple now, cleared it with his right, going over first. So pretty impressive that he's leading with his right over the regular steeples, but then actually on the water jump he actually leads with his left.
And just quickly, as you can see there, the high jump fan is now clear. So Jackson Heppy jumped 1m86, was not successful at 1m90, but a 6 centimetre PB there for Jackson Heppy from John Paul. Followed by Christian Cooper with 183 from Lincoln High, and third Ashton Robertson from Otago Boys High School with 1m80. So well done there, Kapai boys. And we have currently in front of us, for anyone just tuning in, we have the 2,000 metre senior boys steeplechase final in action.
Some great technique being displayed here by some of these athletes. This was Karabo Mazzani from Westlake Boys in third place. And this is pretty impressive running for an athlete that has broken 6 minutes. He'll be in contention, no doubt, to represent New Zealand at the World Juniors in this event if he keeps progressing at this rate. Still continues to lead with his right leg and then clear the water jump leading with his left. We'll try and identify that second runner shortly. There's been some impressive runners come out of St. Pat's College, Kilburnie over the years. Probably most notable athlete that I can recall would be Matthew Code. He represented New Zealand at the Olympics in the 200 metres in the era of Chris Donaldson. So I think Matthew Code would have run around 20.6, 20.7. And then another top runner was Simon Maunder. He was a sub-4 minute miler back in the day. So it looks like Alex West is in second place from Havelock North High School. And then Carabo Mosian from Westlake Boys High School at Tamaki Makaurau. Alex West, very tall athlete. Height definitely does help with the steeple, but we just see Jagwin Gunrajav Willers just go down. He might have just been a little bit complacent over that steeple. It is, we talked about that 7 centimetre difference before from the previous height that the steeple used to be at, and I can tell you right now, if it had been 7 centimetres lower, he would have cleared that steeple. So every little centimetre makes a difference, and that'll be a big wake-up call for him as he comes down the back straight. He won't make that mistake twice. He's definitely starting to slow up a bit now. You see the grimace on his face. He's checking his watch, 5 minutes 27. He wants to break 6 minutes. The water jump is on the inside, so he will only have approximately 150 metres left. Clears the water jump successfully for the final time. He won't break Jeff Shaw's record today of 5 minutes 52. As we look at the time now, it is exactly 5 minutes 52 as he passes the final test. Can he break 6 minutes? I think he might just be just outside the 6 minute mark. Here he comes, 6 minutes and 1 second for the champion Jaguan Gunrajav Willers, St. Patrick's College, Kilburnie. And we just await second place. It was Alex West from Havelock North Boys going into the last lap, and will he hold on? I think he does. There he is over the line there in 6 minutes 15. And in third place from Westlake Boys will be Carabo Mosian. 6 minutes 31 seconds. All very tight there for third with another athlete right behind. Might have been a runner from Auckland Grammar, Bailey, Dransfield potentially. We'll just wait for the official times to come up on screen. About 6 minutes and 1 second for Jaguan Gunrajav Willers out of St. Patrick's College. The record from 1975 remains safe for another year in the record books. Alex West second, 6 minutes 14. Carabo Mosian, Westlake Boys High School, Tamaki Makaurau, 6 minutes 30. And in fourth place was Daniel Loff, Burnside High School, 6 minutes 33. That's a personal best for him. In fifth, Silas Campbell, Wellington College, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. In sixth place, out of Tairi College, Josh Siloy, 6 minutes 53. And in seventh position was the athlete by the name of, try and drag this out as we wait for the results to come up on the screen. A little bit of a delay. So we're just going to see Jaguan going over the steeple here, and he was just his follow-through leg, which is unusual. Quite often it can be the lead leg, so that'll be something for him and his coach to work on in the coming months. In fact, it was Toby Lane in seventh place, St. Peter's School, 6 minutes 54, and Zach Whiteley from Tairi College, 6 minutes 55. Very impressive for Jaguan to actually go down with 400 to go, but he showed a lot of resilience to get back on his feet and still run a very impressive time, just 2 seconds outside his personal best of 5 minutes and 59 seconds.
We do have coming up on the track shortly the senior girls and senior boys 100 metre finals. They are eagerly anticipated throughout the competition to see who is the fastest over the event in the country for the ages. And none of this would be made possible without Whakaata Māori and their amazing broadcast, and Ngā mihi to Bailey's, Caltex, New Zealand Carbon Farming and Apollo Projects for their support. We have the senior girls Romita 100 metres lining up there. In lane 1 we have Sienna Wright from Craighead Diocesan. Lane 2 Caitlin Black, Aquinas College. Lane 3 Georgia Gibbons from Queen's High School. Lane 4 Tika Randall from Morrinsville College. Lane 5 Charlotte Goldsmith from St Cuth's College. Lane 6 Jackie Nasrabadi from Diocesan School for Girls. Lane 7 Samantha Lathwood from Takapuna Grammar. And lane 8 Michaela Fitty from Nayland College. So most of these girls have done quite a few races already for the weekend over the 3-day event. And this will be one of the pinnacle events of the competition. They just have been called into their blocks. And the senior girls Aromita 100 metres are away there. We have a tight race at the moment, but it will be between Georgia Gibbons and it appears that Charlotte Goldsmith from St Cuthbert's College may have taken that out, and potentially George Gibbons from Queen's High School in second. We will await the results there. So it's an 11.99 from Charlotte Goldsmith. A 0.2 wind, so a very solid time there, followed by Georgia Gibbons from Queen's High School with 12.14, and Tika Randall from Morrinsville College will take out the third with 12.20, and a personal best. And if I'm not mistaken, she also had a personal best yesterday, so she'll be very happy with that. But yeah, it was Charlotte Goldsmith from St Cuthbert's College, as you can see in the results there, that took out the senior girls Romita title for 2024.
Together in the commentary team for today. Well done there with Charlotte. I had the pleasure of presenting the medal to Charlotte Goldsmith about an hour ago when she won the long jump. So she's having a very good championship, isn't she?
Very much so, and I believe she will also be in the 200 metres later.
Yeah, some of these athletes have a busy weekend and obviously have a considerable talent.
So we can see here that this is the boys Aromita. That is Jonathan Thompson from Auckland Grammar, who's currently on your screen, just doing a practice block start. Most athletes will do one or two kind of block starts when they get to the front, just making sure that everything's in the right position for them. You can see a few deep breaths there before they take their blocks.
And Caden Taylor from Avondale College has been running hugely impressively through the heats of both this event and the 200 metres, and he's running in lane 5. It's, as the draw goes, it's normally 3, 4 and 5 that in the preliminaries that have impressed, and they get, I guess, what's prime. Sir Daisy.
Oh, and we have a Luke Jarvis from Parapara College, unfortunately breaking there.
He knows that the hands are on the head. He exuded the frustration that you have if you break, because he will almost certainly.
They are going straight back into the blocks though, so it appears that there is no red card coming out. So Luke Jarvis will be very happy with that. There may have been an issue with the calling or something along those lines, but they are all in contention for this gold. And a clean start there. So in the middle there with Caden Taylor from Avondale College, currently in the lead, and he will take out the title for 2024.
There's a blanket finish for the minor placings. So.
We have to wait and see who was for the second and the third. But Caden Taylor from Avondale College has taken out the gold for the senior Romita at the 2024 Secondary School Championships with 10.87 and a 0.3 metre wind. So pretty non-existent wind out there at the moment. Ideal conditions in terms of the wind, but it is a bit cooler for these guys today, with a couple clutching their hamstrings. And as we know, heat is preferred for the sprint events. We have in second place Luke Jarvis from Parapara Omu College. He'll be ecstatic with that with an 11.19. And it must be a little bit close for the third and fourth place getters, because they're taking just a little bit longer to get that time up, which generally indicates that it was pretty close between them. So they're just needing to double check and make sure that they've got the accurate times for the boys.
And Caden Taylor has been winning all his preliminaries, so he went into this championship final, I think probably very much a very warm favourite. Luke Jarvis, we saw his immediate frustration at what he thought probably was a break and that he may well be disqualified, but he wasn't, and he's actually come up with a silver medal. So yep, it's been a good last 4 or 5 minutes for that young man.
Very much so, and we still do not have confirmation of who was third in the low metre 100 metre senior boys, but on the screen at the moment is the junior girls 100 metres, so low metre just lining up there. And we have in lane 1 Charlize Duncan from New Plymouth Girls High School. Lane 2 Taylor Murdoch from Hillcrest High School. Lane 3 Maddie Early from Mount Albert Grammar. Lane 4 Maya Tabut from Cambridge High School. Lane 5 Kenzie Bowden from Rangitoto College. Lane 6 Lily Dunn from Villa Maria College. Lane 7 Lily Morrison from Kaiapoi High School. And lane 8 Eden Moyle from St Kitts in Tamaki Makaurau. Here's the final results for the low metre senior 100 metre boys. We have Jonathan Thompson there in third place. Oh, it's actually a dead even between Jonathan Thompson from Auckland Grammar and James Lothar from St Peter's School there for third equal, which is why the results took a little bit longer, and they must have come down over to the millisecond, and they've put down that it is actually an even time, which is quite unusual.
It is indeed, yes. Normally the photo timer can actually separate them. I'm guessing they're going down to 100ths of a second, so yep, 2 bronze medals, so that's fine.
That's great. Great to see. All of the personal bests between the girls that are in front of you on the screen at the moment are quite close together, between 12.45 and 12.72, so majority are in 12.50, so it's going to be a pretty tight race, I would imagine. A few face slaps and some movement of the arms, just getting prepared and mentally and physically prepared for the upcoming race. There'll be a few nerves, I can imagine, for those girls that are on the start line at the moment.
Yes, and they're being held there for a few minutes, and sometimes that's that just increases the tension just a little bit, and so it's a matter of they'll be feeling a bit more relaxed now as they move into the crouch position for their start.
Clean start there for the girls at Omita 100 metre junior finals. It will be a tight race there. does look like Maddie Early may have taken that out from Mount Elmet Grammar, but we will need to wait for confirmation when the results come through. And it is Maddie Early with a 12:40, closely followed by Lily Dunn from Villa Maria College with a 12:43 and a personal best. And in third place, Eden Moyle from St Kentigern College in 12:57. And in fourth place, Maya Tibut from Cambridge High School, 12:61. Fifth place, Kenzie Bowden from Rangitoto College in 12:73. Sixth place, Charlie's Duncan from New Plymouth Girls High School in 12:80. Seventh place, Taylor Murdoch from Hillcrest High with 12:89. And in eighth place, Lily Morrison from Kaiapoi High School with 13:13.
Almost a hint of sunshine out there for the first time today, Keely. Weather conditions are actually good for track and field. Been a wee bit nippy. I've just been running around with just in the shirt sleeves, but it'll pick up. The top temperature was predicted to reach 26. The northwest wind hasn't come through, and neither has the rain, so we're pretty grateful for that.
Very grateful, and I can imagine that a lot of people are preferring it to be just a little bit cooler rather than quite windy, because it's definitely easier to just warm up a little bit more, whereas the wind can sometimes just add another factor to either a race or a field event that can be a little bit more challenging, especially when it's strong. And in the boys' 100 metre junior finals, we have in lane 1 Alex Walker, lane 2 Hayden Stead, lane 3 Jeremy Habui, lane 4 Dominic Dube, 5 Zachary Nanestead, 6 Bradley Kershaw, 7 Ruan Tahi, and 8 Noel Ham. And they are just about to take their marks, and here we go.
It's down in lane 2 at the moment. Hayden Stead looks as if he has the measure, but no, on the outside a steaming run through, I think, from in lane 6. Bradley Kershaw from Nelson College. The blue uniform would be Nelson College, I think, but we'll just wait for the results to pop up on our screens. And it is in fact Bradley Kershaw of Nelson College, 11.27, ahead of Zachary Nanstead, some college in Auckland at 11.38. So that's a sufficient gap for Bradley to have established in the last 10 metres. The race is never over until they cross the line, obviously. And Hayden Stead from Whanganui High School, 11.40. So they're going to be the medalists in this junior boys 100 metres championship final. Right, so Kelly, a good morning's track and field.
Very good morning. We've had multiple. We've had the senior girls 800 metres and senior boys 800 metres alongside the 110 metre junior boys. Records being broken here today, so that's a huge kind of indicator with how strong track and field is within Aotearoa at the moment, so it's really impressive.
Yes, and yeah, I think the 800 metre records established today were really genuinely impressive, and we're just about to conclude the morning session. It is 5 minutes to 12 roughly, and we'll be back at 12:45, and until then, it's goodbye from me.
Ka kite, and we'll see you soon.
Te hihi oki. Mana kore ana tōre wha. Ei, pauri atu.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather 20 years ago.
I'm Jason Bill, and we farm around the mid-north. We took a review of our business a couple of years ago, sort of identified challenges that we had. One was profitability, and we'd noticed on our steep hill country we're getting more and more erosion. We looked around to diversify, looked at forestry to plant on our steeper country. For us, it really addressed those concerns. By doing the forest farm model, we feel like we're getting the best of both worlds. And I'm really excited, and I really do believe in this model. I think it's the way of the future.